no good for me, but you feel so good to me. Every time I come back, I try to leave. So how you end up back with me? Oh, this ain't what I want. This is something else. Something that ain't good for my health.
I have all of my makeup products in hand and I'm so excited, so let's get started. So it's been so long since I've been on here, but you know what? I don't care. Like this year, I know we're already in April, pretty much halfway, but like I told myself that, you know what? This year, I'm gonna stop overthinking everything. I'm just gonna act, post, do. Just those three things. Hence, I'm back with a makeup tutorial and I've been gone for such a long time. I feel like my YouTube has just been the most inconsistent part of my life, but it doesn't matter because it changes now. Okay, I'm gonna start off by toning my face. So I want to make sure that my face is hydrated and I want to make sure that my base is perfect. So the best way to do that is to hydrate and moisturize as much as possible. So this is the first step. I'm gonna give that time to soak into the skin and dry up a little bit. For moisturizer, I'm going in with my Nivea body lotion. I love this underneath my makeup because it's so hydrating and it does not break me out because I have very sensitive skin. This is my favorite product for underneath my foundation. This is the MAC Strobe Cream. This will illuminate, it will hydrate, and it will leave your base looking absolutely gorgeous underneath your skin. And it's one of those products that I feel like I've just accepted that I cannot go without. It's not the cheapest, but believe me, it's so worth it because it lasts for such a long time and it makes you look so gorgeous. And this one is in the shade Gold Light. So now that I have my skin nicely prepped, I'm going to go in for my brows, allowing the skin prep to just soak into my skin. By the time I go in with my foundation, it would have already absorbed in and I'll be looking gorgeous and glowy. One advice I can give when it comes to brows is you have to shape your brows. There's no way you can outline a badly shaped brow. There are so many different ways you can do it. You can thread, you can shave, you can pluck, but it just needs to be shaped beautifully because a nice brow is like one of the best things that you can do for your makeup look. It sets the foundation, so make sure that your brows are shaped. I like to go in with a brow razor and I just do it myself because I'm quite confident that I can do it well. But if you're not, there are so many tutorials on here where you can actually learn how to do your brows. So just make sure they're shaped because as you guys can see, I'm almost done with my brow and it didn't even take me that long. See, absolutely gorgeous. Making sure that you use the light hand at all times. And can you guys see that glow on my forehead from that strobe cream? Making sure to use the spoolie to diffuse the product, making sure that it is nicely blended. Another important thing to do is to make sure that you pull the tail when you're doing your brow. Most times people have short brows and then they just make it stop right there, which looks a bit weird. But if you pull it out, I feel like that just makes your face look much better. It's just a better frame for your face. Now my brows look absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna cover my brows. I'm using the LA Pro Glow Concealer in the shade Pure Beige. One thing I do as a makeup artist, I always put products at the back of my hand. I never go in with products straight from the container, and I'm using a very tiny brush to ensure that I get that shape nice and perfect. Because my brows are shaped, it doesn't really take much in order to clean up. Honestly, you don't need to do this if you have your brows just recently threaded or if you've gotten them shaped professionally. But because I did for myself, I don't really take out the time to make sure that they're very neat. So of course this comes in handy. I only use the concealer for the bottom part of my brow. For the top part, I reserve that for my actual foundation shade because I don't want my brow to look light from the top, but I actually like the look of it looking light from the bottom. So when I apply foundation, I'll make sure to carve out the top part as well. Then I just make sure to blend it out using a foundation brush. You can use a finger or you can just use any brush that you have. I'm calling this a foundation brush, but it's just a small tapered brush, but I use this for foundation because foundation for me is the one thing that takes me a long time when I'm doing a client's makeup. I really take my time for complexion. It takes me half of the time it takes to do the entire face, just for foundation only. Then I'm going in with this lash and brow mascara from Essence. I was actually intending to get a brow gel, but I bought this, so I couldn't return, so I'm going to use it. Now my brows are nicely shaped and everything looks good, and my skincare is already soaked in, so I can go in with my foundation. So I don't really like a cakey base because I like something nice and quick. Hence, and one of my favorite products for complexion is this Super Stay Skin Tint from Maybelline. This is one of the best products there are out there. It doesn't matter if it's drugstore or it's high-end. I place that at the back of my hand. I never go in with products on my face. Taking this brush, I go into the back of my hand and I really take my time. Okay, so I'm armed with a brush and I have a sponge, and I'm gonna use both of these products slowly, making sure to cover my face properly and making sure that I look absolutely gorgeous. Oh, actually forgot. Now for complexion, the most important part, I'm going to go in with this brush. It's at the back of my hand. I dab with the brush and I make sure I have a beauty sponge nearby. So I just start with the center of my face, from the inside blending outwards. So I do the same thing on this side. Then I go in with the sponge. So this is when I make sure I use my foundation to carve out my brow. And obviously it's nothing hectic, I'm just swiping right on top of the brow. And I make sure to do my jawline and bring it just below my chin. Then taking my beauty sponge, I just make sure that everything is blended beautifully. This will actually help with picking up excess product because, like I said, I don't like a lot of foundation. Making sure that the skin still looks like skin, but we still have that glow because we made sure that we did a proper prep. I'm going to use the Essence foundation stick as a cream bronzer. This is in the shade 280. It's quite dark, but I'm going to have to make use of it. Then I'm going to go in with this dense angled brush. I'm just going to take that brush, dip it into that foundation that is at the back of my hand, and then just carefully I'm just gonna use it to bronze. Placing this at the back of the hand and using a brush will allow you more control because now you can place it exactly where you want it to be and you don't have to do much blending because you already did the blending at the back of the hand. But if you just take it and you just swipe all over your face, you're gonna have to move around the product so much until it looks nicely blended. So this is why I prefer doing that. So I just make sure to push that into my cheekbone right over there. I feel like that looks so gorgeous. It's so beautifully blended. It's not harsh, like you can't see where the foundation stops, where the bronzer starts. And for me, that is exactly what makeup is supposed to look like. I hate harsh lines. I hate any makeup that looks just so unnatural in the way that it is applied. Not necessarily that like it's too cakey, I don't really mind that, but like if it does not look blended, that is actually the worst thing for me. So now I'm going to take this angled brush and I'm just going to use that right over there. I'm just going to lightly brush that, going from my brow and down my nose. Again, making sure it's nicely blended, it's beautiful. And already my nose looks snatched and I really haven't even done much. Then taking that bronzer, I'm just gonna go over my lid again. So I'm just setting my lid for what's to come later, which is actually the eyeshadow. So the next step is going to be concealer, and I'm going in with this Huda Beauty concealer in the shade Praline. This is my first time using this, so I'm quite scared. Hopefully it will look good. Hopefully it won't be too drying for my under eyes. The sun is playing with me. Okay, so the placement for that, I'm just going to target the inner part of my eye, making sure to line right below where I put that bronzing foundation. So ooh, okay. Immediately yes. Immediately yes, immediately yes, immediately yes. I love, 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 love the way it feels on my skin. Ooh, okay, I'm loving that a lot. I'm also gonna do the other part of my eye. Lastly, I'm gonna do the bridge of my nose. So while I'm waiting for that to dry down a little bit, I'm gonna prep for the powder, and I also got this Huda Beauty. This is the Baby Bake. So I got the mini version. It's so cute. As I said, I wanted to try out this product because I've never used them before, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm gonna like them. So I'm gonna go in with my beauty sponge and blend it out. For cream blush, I'm going in with the Sorbet Liquid Lip. Same concept, I'm putting it at the back of my hand. This one is in the shade Smooch. I honestly don't even know if they still sell these because I've had this for a long time. Then I'm taking a taper brush, similar to the one that I used for my base, but now I'm just using it for blush. And obviously it's a different brush altogether. And almost after each and every step, I always go back in with my beauty blender and make sure that everything is blended in beautifully and seamlessly. I'm using the Huda Beauty. What's the name of this powder? But it's in the shade Palm Cake. So I dip into the powder, and then I just use my wrist to just make sure that all the excess powder is off. I have my beauty blender in one, my beauty sponge in one hand, and I make sure that all the fine lines have been blended out, and then I go in with the powder. Then I just bring down the powder and just over the cheek as well. This is the brush I was using for my foundation. And make sure to blend out any lines that I might have creased. Then I shape. The last part is making sure that the center of my forehead is also set. I'm gonna go back with that bronzing brush without picking up anything new. I'm just gonna make sure everything is blended seamlessly. Next up, I'm going in with this Buttermelt bronzer from NYX. This one is in the shade Buttermatch. And I'm just going to use this wherever I had placed my cream bronzer. Just basically on my forehead and just right below there. This smells so good. I'm going to go in with this big fluffy brush. And I know this is very pigmented, so I'm just going to be very light with my hand. That is very, very harsh. And if you guys have been listening to anything I've been saying in the past, I don't know how long, I hate anything harsh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my beauty sponge and I'm going to go in with the side that had my foundation and basically bounce it all over, because I want to diffuse that and make it like as natural as it possibly could be. Can you see how much better that is? That is like more demure, more like, ooh, she's beautiful. She's sun-kissed. It doesn't look like she has something brown on her forehead. So I'm just gonna go around and wherever I place that bronzer, just diffuse. And honestly, it looks way better. Way, way better. Like it's there, but it's not front and center and commanding attention. So I'm gonna take my foundation brush and just going from the center and blending it upwards. Yeah, I think that just looks so much better. And I'm gonna take my powder puff and place it. Just use it to soak up any oils. Now my forehead looks normal again. Let me see how gorgeous that is now. It's like there, but it's not overpowering. Use this blush. This one is from Revolution. It's just gorgeous. Like pink. I love pink blushes. Like pink and me go together like this, especially for blush. So this is the blush I'm going to use. Just gonna swirl that. Just place it directly on top of where I placed that liquid lip. See? Absolutely gorgeous. I love placing blush on my chin as well, because I just think that's just so pretty and pretty. Again, I'm going to take my sponge. Like I said, after each and every step, there is a lot of blending that has to take place, because everything has to melt in together beautifully. Now I'm going to take that bronzer and I'm going to use it as an eyeshadow. I'm just going to take a random blending brush. Another thing I like doing with my bronzer, I love taking it up to my brow. So on the inner part, it's going to be like very high and then it just goes low. But because I'm using something that is just so pigmented, I have to blend that out. Usually with my other bronzers, it doesn't look this scary. So I'm just gonna make sure that it's blended out and into my brow, just the front part. So now I'm just gonna apply some lashes off camera and I'll be right back. Lashes are on and I love the way they look. So next up is eyeliner, and one of the best products that you can have in your makeup kit as a makeup artist, a professional makeup artist, is the Inglot gel liner. It doesn't run, doesn't smudge, and it's very pigmented, so that's what I'm going to be using. Using the tiniest liner brush, then using the back of my hand, because this brush is pretty old, I need to make sure that my brush is in the right shape. Then I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty for my lower lashes. Now I'm pretty much done, so I'm just going to do my lips, and I love these lip liners from LA Girl, and this one is in the shade Chocolate. And my absolute favorite trick is to use blush at the center of my lips, and I'm going in with this Scarlet Hill X Kayams blush palette. As you guys can see, it's really dark into, like, this is all I use for my lips. I mean, if you really wanted, you could leave it like that, but I don't. I'm gonna go in with this gloss from Essence. This is the one in the shade Flower Bomb 105. But I'm gonna grab my lip liner again and just touch up. And the last step is just adding a little bit of highlighter. I've had this palette for the longest time. This is from Essence, and this is the Hello Berlin. I just like to use that right there. Honestly, this is the best highlighter I have. And it's not even a highlighter, it's a eyeshadow palette. I like to add it right there. See that crease right there? That's where I like it. I don't like it there in my tear duct, I just like it right above, exactly where my brush fits in so perfectly. That's where I like it. Can you guys see the difference? And now I'm pretty much done. The only thing I need to do is just to set. This is actually one of my favorites. I haven't used it in a long time, since NYX left for Africa, and I bought it recently, and there's a part of me that feels like it's not the same, because I tried it I think the day before yesterday, and my makeup just looked so matte, which did not make any sense to me.
I'm tryna put you in my worst mood. P1 cleaner than your church should.